Nadia? Nadia?
Iya, Mas.
Boleh kita mulai lagi?
Oh ya, silakan Mas.
Mr. Obe, are you there? Mas Nanda ada di tempat?
Belum tuh.
Iya, saya di sini.
Oke. Pak Obe yang belum di tempat ya? Karena tadi saya bilang 20 menit sih. Kasihan yang pakai YouTube.
Coba saya telepon ya.
Oke. Terima kasih Bu Asti. Bagus kita punya agen di Amsterdam, bisa telepon. Otherwise. But anyway, terima kasih sekali. So many. That's Obe, are you there? Okay, we can continue then. I like to ask Mr. Norris Paul. Mr. Norris, are you there? Pak Norris? Oh, okay. Maybe Pak Norris have same problem with Pak Bas, communication problem, Pak Bas Johnson. Pak Norris? Hello? Okay, maybe we can continue to the others question. Ananda Rizky. Ananda Rizky is still there? Okay, Ananda Rizky is no more. Okay, maybe Ibu Harmalina Putri? Ibu Harmalina Putri? Ibu Lina? Oh, maybe it's still in praying time. Okay, I'd like to invite Ibu Hasti then. Ibu Hasti, I thought you have any comment regarding...
It's very interesting discussion, and please allow me to share my thought. I just make a quick comments about 2 points. The first is about sentiments about the former colonials. I think we should make difference sentiments on personal levels, our emotions towards the Dutch in this case, on personal levels and on political levels. Pak Nanda gave examples, for example, from his grandparents and his parents, and those are emotions towards ex-colonials on personal levels. But on political levels, for example, what Sukarno has done. And I think 75 years forward now, we are still struggling with these emotional sentiments. But I think we should make clear whether our opinions and emotions are on personal levels or on political levels. So we don't mix up between the two. And second is about adaptive use of the works of the architect bureaus, in this case of Hulwitz, Fairmonts, and Kuipers, and colonial buildings in Indonesia in general, related to revitalization of old city centers, which are mostly developed during the colonial era. If I may share my opinion, is the heritage movement in general in Indonesia, whether are colonials or vernacular Indonesia, are still related to the finding the right and proper paradigm for Indonesia itself. What Indonesia wants to do with heritage, because I think we are independent country. I think it's 75 years. It's an age that mature enough to decide what do we do with our heritage. They don't belong to the Dutch anymore. They belong to Indonesia. No matter from which periods, because you also have heritage from Spain, you have heritage from Portugal, from other colonial countries. So all the discussions about adaptive reuse of old buildings today, I think related to the questions of finding the right and proper paradigm of heritage movement in Indonesia. I'm still learning about heritage movement in Indonesia. Yeah, about something more than 20 years, and I find out that Indonesia is still in the process to find an answers. What do we do? Who we are actually. So if you utilize an old city center or adaptive reuse of an old building, it's not about saving a building or physical matters. No, it's about why do you do that, and what do you want with that? So I think the discussion jumping about Starbucks or KFC in the old town of Jakarta is not an essential question. The essential what to do. So it's not like a process of copy paste what the Amsterdam city center or Frankfurt city center to Jakarta. No, actually, are they represent yourselves as Indonesians? So I think if Indonesia can find answers to this, then there would be no discussions about logistic things. It's more on essential things. It's probably a process as a 75 years country, independent country, and it might take 100 years, 200 years. I don't know. It's up to Indonesian itself. And also important to remember that adaptive reuse building is not about an individual building. It's related to the environment around the building itself. Okay. So if you only think about building as individual buildings, you will not be succeed. I think you should think about urban planning and related to other elements in the city development in general. Thanks. That's my opinion.
Thank you, Ibu Hasti. Obe, any comment to what Hasti opinions? Sorry, your mic is still mute. Please unmute, Obe. Obe.
Yeah.
Obe. Okay.
Now you can hear me, yeah? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. What Hasti said is absolutely true. I mean, the Indonesians have to take the decisions about their own lives, their own landmarks and whatever. And my problem is a bit that as soon as you know what you want with the building itself, it is important to know what is the new use for it. I mean, that is my question, and I did compare some buildings here in Amsterdam with Indonesia as an example. It would be fine if Indonesia can solve this problem by themselves. That is, but it is indeed true. It is all to the Indonesians to do that, and not to somebody else from Europe as me. Okay.
Okay. Nanda?
Well, I also agree with Bu Hasti that Indonesia has to decide on how we conserve our old buildings, because it doesn't seem that we have our own model to do that so far as I'm aware of. Look, let's take a look at Italy, for instance. Yeah, I'm saying that we have to follow Italians method or attitude toward their old buildings, old landmarks, etc., and so forth, because Italy has a very different history from Indonesia. But what we can learn from the Italians is that they took a decision. This is how we do it, right? We don't do it in the way the British do it, right? They have their own narrative. Perhaps they made up their own narrative, fine, whatever. But they have their own decision. This is the way we do it in Italy, different from what they do in, say, Britain. That's one thing. So we need to reflect on our own history then. What kind of Indonesia that we want to choose? The fact that Sukarno opted for modern buildings during his years instead of let's compare with in Myanmar, which is still in that kind of condition. In Myanmar, they had modern building, but with some traditional whatever elements, but it only represents one
era.
Particular ethnic groups. However, as in Myanmar, actually there are 135, if I'm not wrong, ethnic groups in Myanmar, but they chose that the majority ethnic groups to be represented in their architecture. That's also what Sukarno wanted, of course, because, well, we know the history of Indonesia. There will be a big trouble for him, for Indonesia at the time. Hence, modernism. So they suggest the fact that Sukarno opted for modernism. They suggest that Indonesia is something. As a country, as a state, as a nation state, is actually something very new, right? It's a 20th century construct. So with that in mind, with that kind of historical factor, we can define our own way to deal with our heritage. Then, perhaps I don't know. I'm conservationist, but one possible way which can be accepted or rejected, of course, is let's do it pragmatically through adaptive reuse. I saw one very good example in Providence, Rhode Island, in the U.S. For a 19th century bank hall, which is no longer a bank. It is used by Rhode Island School of Design as its library in a very certain nice way to do it. Well, of course, it has to do with the regulation in place in Rhode Island, of course. But they do it pragmatically, and it works.
Okay. Yeah,
perhaps we can have that kind of model. Yeah. I don't know, but it's something to discuss, something to develop further. We have to find our own method in it. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Nanda. There is another thoughts. Bas Johnson asked me to read his question because he has a problem with the mic. Bas Johnson, urban advisor from OASA, architect situated in Leiden, Dutch city with a lot of heritage. I'm also involved in heritage-related research in Indonesia, but I'm curious if climate change, okay, this is regarding climate change, and the way we should approach sustainability could also be considered a type of a current development that can affect heritage, and how we should handle the effect on heritage. Maybe in the sense of how does extensive heat exposure affected to the facade. Yeah, that's his thought about climate change. Any ideas about this thought, Pak Obe?
Yeah, climate change makes it more complicated indeed. I mean, we all know that Jakarta is sinking now, and well, I'm not so sure if I'm right. My answer is the soil subsidized because the groundwater is pumping out here. As soon as when they stop doing that, pumping the groundwater, the process will stop. Yeah, a decision like that has to be taken, in my opinion, to save all this heritage for the future. And beside of that, of course, climate change is for all of us a very important question to give an answer on. And I believe that most countries are doing that now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any thought, Pananda?
Well, I'm afraid I'm not qualified to answer the question because yeah, it's not really. I'm sorry, sir.
Okay. Bas, maybe we can discuss further about the climate change versus the heritage building or heritage monuments. Okay, again, I will ask Paul Norris. Norris Paul is still there? Because it's a nice question from Paul Norris. Or Ibu Harmalina Putri? Ibu Harmalina Putri? Okay, okay. If there is no Ibu Harmalina Putri, then I will ask, because I saw Ibu Widayanti. She is the one who is responsible in Kota Lama Semarang. Ibu Widya, any thought about this discussion? Ibu Widya? I'd like to ask Ibu Widya. Okay, Ibu Widya is no more there. Okay, Umu, you have any thought about this? Umu?
Yeah, Pak.
Yeah, please. You have a thought. Please just.
I think I've already stated it in my chat room.
You can directly ask.
Oh, well, I think Mbak Mela was questioning about the practice of conservation in Indonesia, whether we put it as an artifact or to use it for a sustainable development purpose. So I think it depends, but so in order to the first step of the conservation is knowing what to protect. So we have to conduct the assessment first in order to know the value the building, the old buildings or heritage building possess, in order to know what really we want to protect. And this can also affect the narration that we create, the story we want to create for example, to create this narration for tourism, or perhaps to change the behavior of the tourists in the future. And also, I think there's an emerging effort in adaptive reuse in Kota Tua, though it's slow and we still have a long way to go. But well, we can see one of them is Kertaniaga building. It accommodates local business, a cafe, restaurant, museum, and then there's a hostel at the upper floor. So the effort to bring this heritage into means for sustainable development and circular economy, where is slowly emerging, though we still have a long way to go. I think that's all.
Oh, your Ibu Umu?
Yeah, so I wasn't
really,
really asking question. I mean, just responding to Mbak Mela's question. Yeah. Pak Arya, we have lost you, I think. I think if anyone still wants to respond to this, or do we want to put an end to this? If Bu Nadia or Bu Ria, can you please take over, because Pak Arya, well, we have lost Pak Arya. Okay, so perhaps Obe or Pananda can give a conclusion or closing remarks for the discussion. Oh, hilang ya. I think we have lost we have lost Obe as well. I think Pananda, would you want to give your last words or conclusion before we close the discussion?
Let me think. Well, first of all, of course, what Obe presented is very important to think about on the role of historical landmark. I think historical landmark should be considered as something that defines us as us, so to speak. And I also agree with Bu Hasti's opinion, or not opinion, Bu Hasti, what Bu Hasti said, that yeah, Indonesia has to find its own model for conservation. Otherwise, we will fail to create a narrative of ourselves through our historical landmarks, and which will be a sad thing if that happens. So I think that's all I can think of for now. I think this is a very interesting discussion that we have seen today. Thank the people who make it possible. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Pananda. Ibu Ria, Obe sudah tadi? Mohon maaf, saya baru menyambung kembali setelah drop connection saya.
I think he has pressed the wrong button. It could be. That's why he disappeared.
Okay.
Yeah, he wouldn't disappear just like that. I think he has.
Okay. So Obe is disappear. Okay then, because
baru masuk lagi Mas ini, baru
want...
joining Obe-nya.
Obe join.
Yes.
Okay.
It's here.
Obe, are you there? Pak Obe. Pak Obe, I cannot see Obe. I can't.
Yeah.
Okay, Obe. Thank you that you joined.
Yeah.
Obe, I think time is already running. I'd like you to have remarks for the discussion. Any last comment to close the discussion?
I hope to see you soon.
Oh, any others?
That's enough.
Okay, thank you very much.
I wish you all a lot of success, and once again, I hope to see you soon. I had programmed I had to be in Indonesia last November, but yeah, it's all different now. But I'm coming, and I wish you a lot of success with all this beautiful heritage you have. Okay.
Okay. Waiting for your coming.
Okay.
Thank you very much for Pak Obe, and thank you Pananda as well. Yeah, I'd like to get back to this discussion to Ibu Umu. Ibu Umu.
Yeah, thank you very much, Paria, for moderating this discussion. Also, thank you very much to Obe Norbrush and Pananda for the insightful presentation and sharing your knowledge to us. We will have closing remarks from Indonesian Institute of Architects and Trisakti University from EIE. The floor is yours.
Okay, I will see you too.
From Trisakti, do we have a representative from
Ibu
Trisakti?
Ibu Riri.
Okay, thank you. It is my great pleasure that we had fruitful discussion about landmark in our Obrolan Heritage today. Until almost 7 o'clock, it's a wonderful time. And learning from today's discussion, the collection of historical landmarks in the city as presented by Bapak Obe remind us of the importance of these landmarks, especially in showing the city development process. So, on behalf of Fakultas Teknik Sipil and Perencanaan and Department of Architecture Universitas Trisakti, I would like to express my appreciation to our presenters, Bapak Obe and Mas Nanda. Thank you. And all participants for taking time to attend this discussion. And please join our next discussion about placemaking project in heritage sites conducted by DOH organization, which will be held maybe on 25 March, ya, Mbak Umu, ya. So, don't forget to join us again, and thank you, Mbak Umu.
Thank you, Ibu. Mbak Umu.
Thank you, Mbak Riri, for the closing remarks. We will have a photo session shortly, so please, we advise to turn on your camera. Okay, there are 4 slides. Okay. Okay, I'll key you in 3, 2, 1. Okay. Well, thank you very much. The discussion is becoming heated as we reach towards the end of the discussion. Again, thank you for Obe and Pananda, for Arya as well, for all collaborators, and more importantly for all of the participants. Thank you for joining us till the end. We will meet again until the next Obrolan Heritage.
Thank you,
have
everyone.
a nice day, everyone.
Umu,
Have a nice
if
day.
somebody want to buy the book of Obe,
Oh,
is
okay.
it possible?
Okay, it is possible. I'm sorry. Let me give you the presentation. If any of you are interested in buying Obe's book, we have this link for the order, tinyurl.com/Obe-Noordbrush, and it will lead you to the link for the order. I think that's it.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much,
Okay, thank you very
everyone.
much, everybody. Obe, see you soon in Jakarta.
Thank you. Yeah, indeed. See you soon. Thanks for your
Ananda masih
important
di
role in
Australia?
these.
Yeah,
Okay. Goodbye.
Thank you, Pak Obe.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you, Hasti.
Bu Hasti, thank you.
Nanda. Thank you, Mbak Hasti.
Thank you, Nanda.
Kasih
Thank you, Mbak
semua.
Asti.
See you, thanks.
Thank you, Mbak Riri.
Ya, sama-sama.
Thank you, Yai.
See you.
Thanks ya. Yuk.